the best outside, little bitch, you better be ready. When the guys outside, little bitch, you better be ready. When the stars align, little bitch, you better be ready.
Yo, what is up guys, my name is Jake, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the full spoilers for Boruto chapter 70, and yes, we have a bullet point summary, so yeah, let's get right into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and tell me your thoughts on this chapter so far, so yeah, let's get right into it. The chapter title is From the Bottom of One's Heart. The chapter begins where it left off last month. Shikamaru suggests to Ida that she should defect to Konoha in order to stay close to Kawaki. Shikamaru, don't you think that's the best way to get along with Kawaki? Side text. The lab is in a state of chaos. Shikamaru suddenly posts to invite Ada to Konoha. Ada then looks thoughtful and starts thinking about Konoha. The panel switches to Amado and Code. Code then warns Amado, stop skipping out on your responsibilities. Immediately, he then confronts Ada about what she's doing. Ada doesn't look happy to be confronted by Code. Shikamaru immediately noticed something different, Ada's left eye. Before the scene changes again, Ada's eyes are once again focused. Shikamaru looks worried and is also sweating, wonders what she's trying to do. Naruto appears to be running and heading towards Amado's lab. He used the login password to enter the lab, but the door isn't opening. He wonders to himself if Shikamaru is safe for not being able to enter the lab. He begins to scold himself. Suddenly, Shikamaru makes contact with Naruto, who is just outside the lab. Shikamaru, I'm trying to protect you from our enemy's technique, so could you please wait there for a moment? I don't have time to explain it right now. And he tries to convince Naruto that this is a delicate situation and he shouldn't get interrupted here. Boruto and Sasuke then suddenly appear right behind Naruto. Boruto says that and the screen switches back to the lab. Immediately, Ada realizes something is happening. Without batting an eye, she says that Naruto is outside and the door is locked for his safety so that Naruto and the others can stay away from her ability. Shikamaru is shocked by her perception and wonder what's that mean. But then it doesn't take long for him to realize and say completely choked, it's Senrigan. And I was like what? Like, how does Shikamaru know about the Senrigan? Like, I don't think this was ever in Naruto. I'm 100% sure this isn't in Naruto. Maybe in the anime we might see Shikamaru and Amado talking about cyborgs and so on because Shikamaru is actually in charge of Amado, but yeah. Hopefully anime does give us an explanation for this, but at this moment when Shikamaru thought about the Senrigan, he is in a mental connection with Amado via Ino's jutsu. The impression it gives that Amado didn't know about Ida's ability, but then he tells Shikamaru that she's probably doesn't just see the present, but she also be able to see things from the past too. Shikamaru believes that at least not what they're mentally talking about and cannot be heard. So Amado doesn't know Ida's ability, so like how did he create? I'm a bit confused now, like what? If Amado created her, like how doesn't he know about the ability, or unless their abilities are random? But like that doesn't make sense to me, but yeah, I'm actually confused right now. Let's continue. Ada starts talking about what they are probably thinking of her, but then she reveals that she has no reason to be Konoha's enemy in the first place. Shikamaru says that she can be relatively considered as an enemy of Konoha since she is by Code's side, and then he asks what's the smartest choice, is it Code or the village? The scene switches back to the lab. Amado is screaming pain as Code sinks his claw mark in his left shoulder. It's all your fault that things are going slowly. Code demands that at this very moment for Amado to start saying the command in order to remove the limiters from his power. Amado desperately calls for Shikamaru in their mental chat to help him, but Shikamaru asks him to wait a little longer as Code won't kill him, as he needs to be alive to remove the limiters. But Amado doesn't believe he can wait any longer. The panel focuses on Ida's eye one more time. In a desperate way, Ada slightly says that she wants to go home. Code, what is wrong with you? Ada then replies Kawaki is coming. Code seems afraid at a certain point and now he needs to rush to get his power back with Amado. Shikamaru finally realizes what Code is thinking. Amado and Shikamaru are still talking via their mental chat about Kawaki. They began to argue because now Shikamaru believes that Kawaki might be able to go head to head with Code and Ada, but he continues to argue that Kawaki shouldn't be here. At this point, Amado looks like he's prepared for the worst. Shikamaru and Amado are still having their conversation through Ino's jutsu. Code still has his claw punctured into Amado's left shoulder collarbone. Shikamaru and Amado begin to argue over what Amado is allowed to say and what he isn't allowed to say in front of the enemy. As Amado was having a conversation with Shikamaru, Code opens up a clawmark portal and pushes Amado through. As Amado begins to descend into the portal, Shikamaru is shown to have a shocked expression. Code, well, we just have to do it over there, and I didn't want to bring him into the lair. Shikamaru screams. As Code is shoving Amado through the portal, Ada reminds Code that he needs to hurry before Kawaki's arrive. Kawaki's almost here. Hurry, Code. In attempt to stop Code and Ada from kidnapping Amado, Shikamaru uses his infamous shadow possession jutsu on both Ida and Code. However, neither Code or Ida was fazed by this. In fact, Code says, "What is this now, you idiot? Do you really want to die that badly?" Shikamaru stalls for time by telling Ida to wait for a visit for Kawaki and see for herself. However, Ida didn't play into Shikamaru's plan, and Ada instead summoned Delta, who is shown to be sitting on the floor with a blushed look like on her face, which clearly shows that she's in Ida's jutsu. Ida says, "Delta-chan, won't you help me?" And she commands Delta to attack Shikamaru. Code is the last one to go through the portal, and before he goes, he has some words for Shikamaru. Code implies that Shikamaru must be prepared for the retaliation once his name is now on the list. Just as Code's eyes are about to go through the portal, Kawaki makes his entry via the air duct. Code doesn't miss Kawaki's entry but proceeds to retreat. In front of Kawaki are just Code's claw mark, meaning that Code and Ada have managed to successfully escape with Amado. Kawaki and Shikamaru shared dialogue with each other and talk about the incident. Kawaki mentions that Code, judging from the claw mark, has been here all this time. Shikamaru requests Kawaki to use Ishiki's dojutsu in order to remove and shrink Code's claw mark to ensure that he doesn't return back to the village again. Kawaki tells Shikamaru that he is here to speak with Amado, and Kawaki asks where is Kamado, and Shikamaru said maybe he's already dead. Kawaki was shocked. The scene switches to the lair with Amado sat down, and in front of him stands Damon, Ada, and Code. They're all standing in front of him, and Damon welcomed Amado by saying, "Hello, old man, long time no see." Amado, the guy with Code, it's Damon, what the heck? Code proceeds to pick up Amado and pin him to the wall, grabbing him by the collar and say, "Well, there's no way to run now, so you have to give up." Amado asks what will happen to him once he take off the restriction. Amado and Code share dialogue with each other. Amado doesn't trust that Code will spare his life after removing his limiters. Code says to Amado that he's already on the edge and tests his patience will result in more danger for Amado. Amado sees that Code is unwilling to negotiate. The restriction will be lifted immediately. I won't resist. All in return, I beg you, please spare my life. Code, unpleasant with Amado's response, call him a man without any pride. Amado says that he is not interested in any of the crap and suggests to get on with it. Code gets closer to Amado and says, "You're a mouthy old man, just get on with it and stop wasting your time talking nonsense." A moment of silence in the room. Damon and Ada haven't said a word since Amado and Code started to speak. They are merely observing. Code and Amado make eye contact for one final time. Amado finally tells a sort of command. As soon as Amado said those words, a cloud of smoke surrounds Code. He seems to be in the middle of the smoke. The next page we see the smoke blowing away. Damon's hair is blowing back by the smoke wind. On the second half of the page, we see a smoke disappearing and Code standing in front of Amado with a back shot looking off Code. We then see a full front view of Code's new design. His hair are now more spiky, however the main difference is in his eyes, which have way more detail, and just not the eyes but also around it. Code stares at his incomplete karma and proceeds to clench his fist, suggesting that he now feels more powerful than before. The second to last page of the chapter, and we see a full page dedicated to Code, Damon, and Ada. Code looks at Ada and says it's nice to feel as if you won't lose to anyone. The chapter ends with Code, whose limiters have been taken off, pinning Amado against the wall and telling him that "I'm sorry Amado, the wound is hurting, right? I'll free you in an instant from that pain." The last page preview side text. Code restrictions have been finally lifted and a deadly blade approaches Amado, who has just been used. Whoever wrote this last panel, who has just been used, it just makes me feel like Ada is going to backstab Code. I don't know why, but yeah, that's it for the spoilers. Hope you guys found this information helpful. Subscribe if it did, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.